this meeting of the Community Housing Board. So the first item on our agenda is to review the minutes. So we have any edits?
No. Make a motion.
Second.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Amazing. Great, okay. The next item on our agenda is to talk about the ADU plus one. So I wrote down some numbers from our last call, just so we have, so it's kind of total right now, we have seven committed. They've like signed their paperwork. So of those, we've got like 3 that are done, right? So another 4 that are kind of in the process. We have 4 behind that 7 that are pretty close to signing. So they're kind of just like working out their last like bits, you know what I mean? Like the second
Dotting i's,
quote.
crossing
Yeah,
t's.
exactly. And like the
And we
second.
don't see any complications, so
No, yeah, those.
they're all easy.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so they're like, we're putting them in like the close category, which would bring us to 11. We have 2 people that need to go to ZBA. I think one of them has already put in their application. And then I think the other one probably at this point has as well. So, so that's to 13. And then we have 3 promising in a review stage. So that are new applications. So
Cool.
that's where we were as of like last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't even remember. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So we'll have another update, but it's going pretty well. And then we have Casey said that the office hours have been going really well and helping the applications go quickly. And so there's two more this month. And thanks to you, Bran, for making that poster. So that's been really helpful, especially for some of our senior residents who just like aren't as email focused as maybe some of us. Just to be able to go over and like talk through stuff and get those applications going. Peter, is there anything else that you think I forgot?
No, that's good. It was a quick one, but things are moving along.
Yeah. Let's move to the housing assessment. So I do have, I have 2 things to share. Oh, I guess one thing to share. It turns out we actually, because of the type of service it is, we actually don't need to put out an RFP. So that was
Great.
awesome
I
news.
saw that email.
So it kind of like went back and forth with the lawyers, just making sure we were good, you know? So, and the only thing outstanding is, you know, we have secured the funds, but I have an inquiry into Barbara Bloom into exactly when they're going to be released. Technically, we don't really need them till the spring, so like not super worried about it, but like it'd be good to know exactly the timing on that. So she said she's going to work on that and give us an update. So I wanted to kind of like just talk about, I went and looked at 2 potential vendors. We did have one referral that was heavily recommended from East Hampton that I have a name. And then I kind of went back through some of the notes and thought I think it would also be worth talking to Nelson and Pope, who we worked with on the housing plan, just to like interview them, just because they spend a lot of time out here.
Some of the work.
They've already done some of the work. And I thought they were great to work with. So it seems like, I wanted to kind of put out to the group, it seems like the next step would be like identify potential vendors, kind of think about how we want to do like interviews or get proposals from them. Like, do we have thoughts on like what we think is going to be the right structure there? And then, yeah, just kind of just like work out how we imagine the process and timeline going. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I guess like, I would think, how I was thinking about it was like, this fall, by the end of the year, we should probably have interviewed and decided who we would like to have do it,
Mhm.
so that they could be starting in the spring with the idea.
Once we have the money or whatever.
Yeah, which we should have, like, I actually think we could even have it sooner. So that, I mean, the ideal would be is this summer, or this next summer, which seems absolutely insane. We'll have to do another housing plan, so it would be great. So I guess I wanted to kind of
So
open it up.
summer 26 is like when we'd actually be,
Yeah, so it'd be great to have the results in hand, so that when we started the process with the community and they said, what exactly are the needs? It'd be like, we did an assessment.
right,
Blah, blah,
remember
blah.
when we interviewed you all this summer?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so, it does feel like we should probably get going on
Yeah.
identifying some vendors, and then just at least making sure that maybe this like timeline is plausible.
yeah,
Which I didn't have on here, but like thinking about the timeline is, I would put out to the group to maybe think about, we can either talk about it now or for next time, is thinking about backing into the housing plan. Right? So, we did, maybe in our next meeting, we can go through all the stuff that we did last time and decide, do we want to do that many public meetings? Do we want to, do we do like an online survey? We did, we kind of went through it. I would also, actually, now that I'm like saying this out loud, it might be worth it to hire the same people who do the housing assessment to help us with the plan. I don't know.
right.
Or do it different. I don't know.
If that's in their wheelhouse, seems.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know Nelson and Pope is. I don't know about, Fernand, say it wrong, a referral from East Hampton. What do you guys think about that? Having that be a.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I think that's
Okay.
good.
I have one little note for you.
Yeah.
Heather's still getting more information for you, but she said as far as CDBG, one thing she does know is they'll need 3 proposals, or 3, you have to show sending out 3, so it counts even if they don't respond.
Oh, great. Well, we'll
She'll go
have,
bit more with you, but just
yeah,
wanted
I would imagine that we would.
to share that.
Yeah, so here's the other thing is, so I think the only other, I was trying to think of who we wanted to ask, and if anybody had other ideas. I was gonna ask, I talked to East Hampton, talked to Southampton. Maybe I can ask Curtis if he has a referral. If anybody has any other ideas, I'm down to, I thought, Espen, you might have some thoughts on the matter.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. That would be cool. So I'll ask Curtis and see if I can't come up with a third one. And if anybody has any
Yeah,
other,
I'll look into
yeah.
what we had researched last time and,
Oh, that would be perfect.
yeah,
That'd be
I know.
perfect.
We had some other names or other people we had reached out to the first time.
Yeah. And actually to this, again, it's not necessarily part of this, but it's kind of related. I was going to talk about later in new business. I went, I don't even know, 2.5 weeks ago. There was a workshop from the county about rental funding, which was really, really interesting. So we went through did LIHTC credit math and I'm a nerd about that stuff. So it was really, really cool. But there was also a lot of really interesting people there from Suffolk, everybody that was involved in housing, kind of almost for the whole county, a big, actually CDLI was there. And, it was all different kinds of things. And one of the things that got proposed was potentially starting on the East End to do like a quarterly meeting of the chairs of all the community housing boards that have the community housing fund, just to compare notes. I was sitting next to the guy from, anyway, I thought that would be cool. So anyway, that's gonna hopefully get together in November, at the end of November. So anyway, that's a,
Would CDLI be a resource for finding the consultants that can do the?
that's a
housing
great
study?
question. Yeah,
They must be getting assessments from all over the place.
that's a great idea. I'll ask Gwen. Cool. All right, so does anybody else have anything do we think we need to talk about with the housing assessment?
Yeah, no, I
Make a
think we
note.
just need to start
Do we want
figuring out
to,
the process.
so if we identify the, like, let's say we identify the vendors, how do we want to do the process? Do we want to like interview them? Do we want to like agree on and putting together an email to ask them to, you know what I mean? Like, how do we, like, I know like it's not to get in the weeds of it, but like, is that something that like a subgroup of us wants to do, or do we want to like agree on an email that we're gonna send, and then like one person will serve as like a contact if they have questions?
Seems like maybe like an RFP light would
Yeah,
be in order, just something that we collectively agree on what the needs are and how we see the timeline playing out, and just shoot it out there and see who
Okay.
bites.
okay. I can draft something up maybe this week and just circulate it. Is that cool? Okay. RFP light, I like it.
RFP light, do we email out to their
Yeah,
That's
contacts and,
and then maybe I might
Yeah.
also follow up with a phone call just to make sure that they, you know, just be
Right.
like,
Mhm.
who's interested and available?
okay. All right, neato. And just to kind of just like recap, just so we're all on the same page, what we're really thinking about doing was, or rephrase, my hope would be at the end of this that we could look at this and understand a little bit more where the needs were in the community, you know, and like maybe what the needs were
Yeah,
around housing.
I think
Yeah,
our process last time was a little bit under the gun,
yeah,
and we didn't really have a scientific like, an assessment that was like a
Yeah.
real poll or
Yeah.
census kind of thing. And I think at this point, the closer we can get to that,
mhm,
the better.
I agree. And I
right?
think that there's still,
Everyone has kind of anecdotally the understanding, but we kind of need more data.
yeah,
I think maybe going back to the poll, maybe there is an online version, a downloadable version, a paper version for people that aren't, that people can pick up at the library or
Yeah.
something that we can accumulate and collect online, and just in general, if getting back to the poll before perhaps these interviews or.
yeah. And I know last time when we did the housing plan, we had like a similar thing where you could do it online, you could do it on paper, but I think it was more broad because we were just, you know, we just didn't know where we were, you know, we had like the census data and like a vibe, you know, so we're like trying to like fill in from there. But yeah, I think
Or maybe the vendor is going to be the one to say, here's the poll that we would
Yeah,
yeah,
send out. This
Yeah.
is what we need to know to,
yeah, it does feel like it's going to be like a poll kind of situation.
much easier than expecting people to walk in somewhere and
Yeah,
tell you.
yeah.
yeah.
know?
We had a pretty good response last time. We did a bunch of, yeah. So anyway, it'll be interesting. I was thinking about that, like logistically, as we'll have to be, we'll like be getting the poll out there. And then we'll be doing the community sessions
Mhm.
during the summer to kind of decide what to
That's-
do with the
that's-
data from the poll.
That's what I meant. No,
Yeah.
the community sessions, not the vendors. but-
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that you go into the sessions already with the right
Exactly.
knowledge of what's out there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, guys, I finally have good news on the rental unit project. Sent the letter of intent to CDLI yesterday.
Amazing.
Oh,
It's
good.
only been like
That's what this is.
3 months.
Was the edit picked up?
I don't think that they decided to pick it up because it's not fine. It's going to their council.
Okay,
Yeah. They agreed that that's what how they wanted it to go, which was what they,
in the interest of getting it.
Going,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So if they come back and
Moving
they say
along.
that we're gonna take the cost on, we're gonna push back and say no, but I was like. So anyway, so we finally got it to them. So that's so exciting. I think I sent it yesterday. So I'm gonna follow up with a call, just to see when we think we might come back. One of the things that I think is gonna be necessary soon is, obviously this letter of intent took a moment. And my guess is that we're gonna have to do probably a little back and forth with their council. That's kind of usually
Yeah,
how this
of course.
goes, right? But my hope is that we can figure out how to do it in a way that doesn't take months, in between. So one of the things I was gonna suggest, but our folks aren't here, was that I brought up to the town board before, was to get a standing meeting, maybe every other week or something like that, where we knew the counselor was gonna be there. Because not only are we gonna have go back and forth on the letter of intent, but after that, like honestly, we might even need to move it to weekly, because we're gonna be working on very complicated contracts around management and ground lease, you know what I mean? And I was just like, if it's gonna take us this long to get the letter of intent out, it'll be 10 years before we finish the contract if we don't switch how we're doing it. So that's one of the things I am gonna go. Anyway,
I think Ben sort of hit the nail on the head a while ago when he said sometimes the letters of intent take longer to complete than everything else, but everything else will happen concurrently, and
Yeah.
the letter of intent's kind of background noise, but everybody's already moving forward. Sometimes it happens that way.
yeah, I know.
As long as everybody's on the same page and they get started and they get going, because the letter of intent at the end of the day isn't binding, so everybody's proceeding in non-binding fashion
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah,
It's more just a roadmap of what everybody's expectations are, and then you just manage them along the way.
yeah. No, I just want to make sure that we're actually getting started on some of because I know that there'll be, I'm sure that there'll be a lot of discussion around these next contracts that we got to get out there.
Yeah, and each contract is its own project.
Oh, absolutely. I think my concern is that we got to get working on them and have the issues come up and think about resolutions, but
And they correlate to each other.
yeah, but if we're not even talking about them yet, that makes me a little nervous, So there's that. So when Bill is back, I know it seems like we should probably get another meeting on the books, because I think that Miriam has some initial drafts of places to start, and I think it'd be good now that the town board is kind of okayed this first volley, to kind of start thinking about what are our needs or wants, or how we imagine these things, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. And if we're not, then we can start having those discussions. I think it'd be good. I was gonna ask, did anybody have any other things about the 10 units? I'll talk about it, okay. I was gonna ask Megan Ben, but nobody's here. So I had put this on the agenda, we had asked for the pro-housing resolution. They said that they're gonna approve it. And then, for the last couple of weeks I've asked, and I said, oh, we have got questions. And so I was gonna ask what those questions were.
Maybe we table it until,
Yeah,
as
table
Meg
it.
said, she might be late, so we might.
So there's that. We did the senior listening session, which everybody kept getting asked, and we all came. And
Nice.
I'm gonna talk to Lori now.
we got to talk to Lori Finelli, and that was great. And those little muffins were good, and we did talk to one lady. But
No one else came
Nope.
after that?
no, me and Peter
She
and
didn't
Lori.
look too enthusiastic about it, you know?
Yeah, no, Lori had asked her to come, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, well, there's just been a lot of like feedback around like, hey, what about seniors? And so I think
We could try again.
we can try again, but anyway, I just
Absolutely.
kind of put out to the group of just
What
like,
about doing it during one of like the lunches at the Presbyterian Church?
I've gone over there to talk to them about the ADUs. It's a little bit hard to have conversations, but they're all are there, especially if you can get like, Emily can tell you when it's like meatloaf day. Because everybody shows, I didn't know this was a thing. But it was like, she's like, you gotta come on meatloaf day. I was like, oh, come on meatloaf.
So
day.
we go there and talk to them.
Yeah.
Just like, say, give us 10 minutes,
Yeah,
and then if they have any questions,
okay,
because they're all
yeah.
there.
Would it be the time to actually do the session, or simply the time to, bang on a glass and announce to everybody that there is?
I think it might be, at least I think what you're saying is, having seen how hard it was for people to get there and like, like they had to have their aides and, it was like, my thought is we might even try to literally informally do it there
Yeah,
because
Okay.
a little
There's, I think-
Q&A.
I think that there seems like there's, which I didn't think I totally got how much like transportation issues there are,
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
right? So that's a lot to arrange. I think that's a really good idea, Pierre. I'll reach out to Kelly and see the next couple
Meatloaf.
lift days.
It's on the website, you could look it up, I think it
Yeah.
says what they're having, or Flounder.
There's the election,
No, you don't want to do it there, because people are coming and going.
that's,
Yeah, political,
Much more
well, it's not
hectic.
political,
Much more hectic.
but people are coming and going,
It's like they pick up stuff, but
right, and leave.
yeah. And the session, the senior lunches are just always all seniors.
Correct.
So it's our target demographic.
That is a target demographic that is important, that we should definitely reach out to. And I wonder if there's other target demographics we could,
I
Fine.
know.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I was also thinking, I was gonna follow up with Lori, and just call her, thank her, and then also just ask her if she had any other ideas, because that was Kelly's idea, was to do this,
Yeah.
and so,
no,
just be
it's
like, what else do
good.
you think, What other kind of, when you say other target demographics, like,
I
what do
just
you?
think, what about the 20 and 30-year-olds who are?
Oh, yeah,
Who,
What about a fire department meeting?
you know,
We don't really have 20 and 30-year-olds, but
I mean,
20.
I have all sorts of feelings about that, yeah,
Most of those people don't own houses, so
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I mean, so there's like,
But I mean, maybe that's part of our housing needs assessment next
Yeah.
year, and
no, I think it's a huge, I think especially as like a parent of somebody with
Yeah.
like 20-year-olds, it's like, watching them deal with housing and even considering coming back, it's like, you can't come back unless you want to live with us and we don't want to live together. So it's like just not possible. But yeah, maybe that's part of, I don't know, that's something to think about.
yeah,
right?
just something to think about.
Yeah,
That's what I put out there.
okay, I like
Something to
it.
think about.
I'm gonna do,
Well, just like, some of our first things that we did, I don't know if that was like Shelter for All, or if it was
it was, I think,
CHB,
I don't know, it all blurs
yeah,
together.
like the library meetings were, you know.
Those are shelter
first-
for all.
Yeah, that was like a lot of people.
It was.
And we got a lot of people to talk and a lot of people to, you know,
Yeah.
think about the issue. So,
Well, I think there's like two parts that I'm like hearing. There's like both like a scientific assessment,
yeah,
right? And then there's like this other piece where, at least how I'm thinking about, I want to like, we want to understand the solutions that people are looking for, right? Like, so it's like, are they looking for, I'm just going to make some stuff up here. Like, you know, if it's like a senior, are they looking to like downsize their house? Or are they looking to make it accessible? Do they want
Yeah.
something to be there? Or do you know what I mean? Like, there's kind of like identifying the issues and then what are the solutions people are interested in?
it's really just listening. It's really
Yeah,
just
oh,
like,
it's-
you know, talking to people and seeing what the friction is, what the
Mhm.
problems they're having are, and what, you know, what they're looking for.
Yeah. And I think the same thing with like the 20 to 30-year-olds. It's like,
And it's like, that's what our policies need to flow from.
yeah, exactly.
How can we serve
Mhm.
that public? And I mean, you know, in
Yeah.
general, it
Yeah.
is Shelter Island, all the whole public, but
Yeah.
there are, you know, groups of people that need different things.
Yeah.
At different points in their life.
So what do you think, like, would you just, so that, I mean, that does kind of feel more like community,
Yeah, I mean, I think at some point, I think doing another senior listening session or reaching out to the lunch, you know,
yeah,
to directly go to them is good, but I think it is like, I feel like we tried to do this around the first housing needs, is go to some different groups, the Lions Club and just talk about it and, you know, see kind of what needs to bring on our agenda for the next, you know, 5-year plan.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think you're right. And I think it's like, and I think there's like, the thing I think about is it feels like we've gotten a lot of community feedback around seniors, which is like why it feels like it's like, okay, let's hear from
Mhm.
seniors. But I, you know, it's like, it'll be interesting to kind of think about, and maybe it'll be great to be in process with a consultant who could kind of help us to understand like which part they think would be, like what do you do first, you know? What do they think is the most effective way to kind of gather that? I don't know.
Something to think about.
Yeah,
But I think the first step would be Presbyterian Church, the dinner bell.
yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Okay, dinner bell it is.
Meatloaf.
I hope you guys like meatloaf. We're gonna go eat meatloaf. They gave me a really big portion last time. Like a lot, a lot.
Because they take it home.
Yeah,
You get another meal out of it.
so
Brilliant.
so smart. All right, I'm gonna move on to the fund update. So let's see if I can read this. So let's. Am I reading this right? I think so.
Last one was just about
I know, I was like, I think
1.234,
2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think we just got like another.
a little bit in, yeah.
It's just like another couple thousand because we're at 1,239,000.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of nothing burger for this month. So not much to say there.
It's going up, so.
Yeah, it's going the right way. It's going
And
the
the
right
interest that
way.
we're collecting is fantastic, you know.
I know, we moved it to that high interest account. Just let it build, because
Yeah.
I know I don't know what is gonna be in that 5-year plan, but what I can tell you is I'm certain that it will be very expensive and that we'll need every dollar that we have in there. Do you have any other old business that we haven't talked about?
Mhm.
Okay. Do we have any new business?
I got nothing.
Right.
My only other new business is I think I mentioned that I went to that county workshop.
Yeah.
It was so exciting and phenomenal and so many ideas about different financing structures, which I know like we're not there yet. But it was incredible. And if anybody's interested, I'm happy to share
You
the
have
resources.
Filed it all away.
I filed it all away and I made a connection. I'd met him, Kevin, I've forgotten how to say his last name. I'm gonna look it up. Through the county, and he's Kevin Grumps, and he's with an organization called Grow America, and they do basically financial support, feasibility around housing, and they're contracted with the county to help. So I've been connected with him around when we're kind of starting, just to kind of talk us through like what's possible. And so we'll probably end up bringing him in to figure out like the pilot on the county level. So he and I worked out some of the initial started some of the math. But the other thing that was really awesome, I mean, also maybe because I do a lot of the stuff like for work. But so we basically did a 1-day session on basically exploring kind of these resources and kind of figuring out the potential top, like most credits and how you stack stuff together for the rentals in different kinds. But they do also offer a 4-day session. And so I did reach out and ask if the county would consider, just because, I'm sitting at this table and they're just like, oh, I'm like, they have like their whole housing departments. And they're like, and so you have, and I was like, so I'm a volunteer. I'm just, I'm an accountant though. I'm an accountant though, so I can do this money tech method, but like, and they're like, well, what about your planner? And I was like,
It's me too.
also me. And
My other hat.
yeah, I was like, hold on, exactly. So I did put out there to ask if the county would consider, he said, well, like maybe they could even cover it for me to go to the 4-day thing, just so.
You can just sneak in there.
Well, just like how it would be great to like, I was
Join
like, all these
someone
other towns.
Yeah,
have
join
all
on like
this.
sneak in with Southampton. or something.
Yeah, I was like, all these other towns have like access to like all these resources and understand how to put them together. And it's like, if we understood the tools as well as these guys, like Brookhaven understands the tools, like well, maybe we could get some different results, right? So anyway, so he's been really awesome. I haven't heard back, a little busy, but I'm gonna push again. But I think that would be really cool. And if anybody wants to nerd out and do my LIHTC worksheets, I was just like, I love this. I think that's it. I think that's it. So I'm just going to kind of go over the things I know I have on my to-do list, which is I'm going to ask for vendors from Curtis and Southampton and CDLI. I'm also going to draft an RFP light to circulate. And then I would just ask, my ask of you guys is to, if you have any other ideas for potential vendors for the assessment or the plan, please bring those forward. And then I guess like the other thing would just be like, just be thinking about kind of the whole process of how we're going to move from the housing assessment to the housing plan. If you could grab some of the stuff that we did from last time, and maybe we can, in our next meeting, revisit that and kind of do a little retrospective of like what we thought went well, what we would do again,
Okay.
what we wouldn't do again. So we just kind of have that as we approach these vendors. And then my third thing was I'll find out about meatloaf and the dinner bell, and we're all going to be eating meatloaf for lunch here very soon. So we'll try again. All right. Wow, I can't even believe we're getting shorter. I feel like we're like doing more, but getting shorter, and I don't know exactly how that works, but,
We do have one person on.
oh, good. Oh, excellent. Okay,
Karen.
okay. Karen, is there anybody, did you have any comment or questions?
No, not tonight, thank you.
All right, cool. All right, so I think with that, my friends,
Motion?
make a motion. You seem motiony.
Second.
Second to,
All right,
All in
all
favor?
in favor. Have a great night, guys.
all right.
Thank you.